Do you want to hear one of the harshest truth bombs I could ever drop? There will never be enough time to do or be or change everything. Using time as an excuse is simply a tired method of avoiding responsibility, ownership, and will. So instead of waiting until you have more time or complaining that you don't have enough, let's accept that time will always be a scarce commodity and enough is not possible. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Kyira Wackett. Thanks for joining me for another video as we work to empower and equip you with the confidence and skills to write your own story so that you can live your life on purpose. Today we're talking about the precious resource of time and how the only control we have over it is admitting it's going to pass us by at the same pace no matter how much we wish otherwise. So taking hold of how we use it is the only thing we can control. Now, before we dive in, I want to put a plug to check out the link in the show notes to my program all about control, all about understanding time, called Liberated Living. It's a 3-session work group limited to 8 people that only runs in the spring and fall, and the fall group just opened. Check out the links in the show notes to learn more about it and snag your spot early so that you don't miss out and you can snag some early bird pricing. And if you're not sure if you need this or if it would be a good fit for you, just see how you feel at the end of this video, because this is just a taste of the work that we're going to be diving into in these sessions. All right, let's get into it. My sister-in-law flew in last week to see us, mostly Everly, for the first time in 5 months. We immersed ourselves in all of the fun things, including taking Everly on her first Max ride and shopping downtown, going swimming, watching live music, enjoying ice cream and donuts, and before you ask, yes, together, eating at food carts, having a movie night, playing lots of games, reading books, doing at least 462 art projects, and so much more. It was a fantastic week, and yet being in the fun of it all isn't something that comes naturally to me. The days before my sister-in-law arrived, I felt myself tightening up. Scarcity crept in. I have stuff to do, things to take care of, a timeline to stick to. I only get so much time to work, and now that's going to be cut in half. I was excited about all the fun things we would get to do while she was here, and simultaneously anxious about how to fit it all in my schedule, in my life, in my mind, apparently right now, without losing my momentum and productivity. While we love having people visit, that can be really difficult to navigate, especially when you run your own business and manage your own schedule. You have people in town to see you, but you still have to stay on track with your goals. What does the balance look like? And when things are negotiable, it's easy for shame to talk you into whatever it wants. So for me, the answer feels more challenging to ascertain as, on the one positive side, I love my work. I may not love everything about running my company, but for the first time in years, I am finally clear on what I'm doing and who I'm serving, and the drive and excitement to work are omnipresent. But on the not so positive side, I have a deep-seated enough anxiety. Am I doing enough? Have I made enough money? Am I successful enough? Is my business worthy enough? And the list just keeps going on the enoughness train. This is especially true regarding scarcity around earning money and being productive. Now, the day after Jess got here, Jordan and I were sitting at the table eating lunch. He noticed that I was feeling off and checked in. I wasn't exactly sure what I was feeling, but I started talking out loud, which I often do. And any other verbal processors that are here will completely understand this rambling through of my thoughts in my head and what I had to do, the pressures I felt, the resentment I held, and the fears that I had. After several minutes of naming all of these things, my worries, thoughts, and value conflicts, I felt like I was sitting in this space and came to a conclusion that so much of my enough anxiety is rooted in one very dominant shame story. I'm undeserving of joy and success. This belief impacts the way I show up and the meaning and value I ascribe to everything I do. It affects the way I see myself as a business owner and how I can show up in my work. It breeds distrust in my marriage, where I always assume that he's going to resent me if blank, even though I have no data to back it up. It shows up in the ways that I put pressure on my plate with parenting and getting it right all the time. It leads me to isolate and fill my time with tasks rather than pause and connect with others. It stops me from having downtime and engaging in self-care. It strips me of the opportunity to be in the moment without judgment. It leads to heavily distorted thinking and integration of life experiences into my story. It's hard to even want to say it out loud. Logically, I know this is ridiculous. I know that I am deserving of good things purely by being a human that puts goodness into the world, and that I have worked really hard and have been an active contributor in creating the life that I lead. But my shame doesn't know that. And unfortunately, I often get caught in a place where I let shame drive the bus. See, having Jess here simply exacerbated a feeling I constantly grapple with. I should be doing more, and I have to earn rest. And to be clear, rest isn't just lounging on the couch or having a fun day out. Rest is also letting go of the worries and projections I hold on to. Rest is allowing time to be filled with unproductive things or saying no to the things that I don't want to say yes to simply because I can. Rest is letting go of the belief that I don't deserve to rest unless I'm at X level of success. Rest is letting go of the notion that I have to make X amount of money, and sure as heck better not rely on a man's income, or else, what does that say about me? Now, amid our conversation, Jordan made a remark that stuck with me. He shared how he wanted me to fall in love with the process. He meant it as it applied to my business and the idea of seeing my work as a process that I get to show up fully and claim success for now and in the future. But in reality, this idea extends to so much more. How can I focus on living my life and be engaged in and excited about the evolution? How can I let go of the scarcity of time around me and know that there is no such destination as enough, and there will never be enough time for me to get to that place? His wish for me is in direct opposition to my shame. See, my shame believes that I have to earn connection, joy, celebration. My shame has specific standards for what success looks like and how it must be achieved, which I can say in this current state of clear-headedness is not only BS, but has been an ever-moving target throughout my life. The process of living is about being present in and engaged in the moment or task at hand. It's about living in balance with our values and ideals. It's about not getting lost in pursuit of what's already present and finding balance between standing still and moving forward. Okay, now I want you to take a moment and pause and reflect. I want you to ask yourself, first off, how is this resonating with you? Where have you found yourself focused on the product or the outcome, and you've lost sight of the process or being? How have you made joy and fulfillment dependent on success and validation? And what do you have to let go of to make space to fall in love with the process? For me, I'm actively working on letting go of thoughts such as, Jordan's going to resent me if I don't make a certain amount of money in my business. I should be working more. X is doing more or better than me, or really anything that compares me to others in my business, in parenting, and relationships, both in an upward or downward trajectory. And I am not there yet. Now, before you go, I invite you to leave something here in the comments that is no longer serving you. Perhaps it's a thought, fear, or task. What is something you can let go of as you work to reframe your relationship with rest, joy, and fulfillment? If you found today's episode valuable and insightful, I encourage you to hit that thumbs up, click subscribe, and of course, share this episode with someone you think could benefit from hearing it. And if you are ready to take that next step in your own shame resilience journey, be sure to click the link in the show notes to download my free handout, 5 things shame resilient people do every day and 3 things they don't. And if you're ready to go even deeper, then click that link in the show notes to get into my program for this fall batch for Liberated Living, or set up a discovery call so we can talk about all the other programs that I have and make sure we find something that best suits you and your needs. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I want you to remember, you have the right to author your own story. So let's go get that pen back. I'll see you next time.